Hello and welcome. I'm Robert Adducci. This is the Ulysses International Twitch channel, and we are playing through the Dark Eyes Conspiracy of Mages solo adventure. Thanks for joining us. This is part 3, and right now, if you want to, you can adventure with us and help us make some decisions. And if you want to play this adventure on your own, you can get it for free right now. It's on Pay What You Want on Drive-Thru RPG. And it's a solo adventure. You don't need any other rules. This will give you all the rules, kind of walk you through how to play the game, so you can play by yourself. And then if you want to play with a group, you can get the Dark Eye core rules for free as well right now on Drive-Thru RPG. So check those out. The Vampire of Havana solo adventure is also available. Pay what you want right now. So go ahead and grab those if you want to. If you have some free time and you're looking to play the Dark Eye and get into it. It's a really great setting and system. I myself am just learning it, and it's been fun so far. So we're playing Conspiracy of Mages. Good afternoon, Freestyle HQ. Thanks for staying high in the chat there, and self-destruct immediately as well. So just to give you guys, let you guys catch up if you have not been here. This is our third session, and we are a mage in the Lowangen Academy of Transformation. We were about to graduate when we were kind of waiting for our test, but we kind of waited outside Magister Erlon's room, and nobody answered. Nobody came to the door. Magister Moonhair, who doesn't like us, wasn't there either. Neither was Magister Brutum, who follows around Magister Moonhair and appears to like her. Nobody was there, so we don't know what happened. We kind of waited around. Eventually, we used our magic, was just sort of frowned upon, to look into the Magister's room, and we found it was very messy and seemed... We got the idea that he might have been abducted. We went to see one of the other magisters, Alchemicus Horrigan. He encouraged us to investigate, and so we've been kind of going around investigating. We've tried to speak with Nivea the cat. Nivea, and the reason we try to speak with Nivea is because there's rumors that Nivea was once a student who was transformed into a cat, and so we thought maybe since Nivea's around all the time, they would know what's going on. However, they weren't able to help us at all. We also went to the cellar and searched there, which is where Alchemicus Horrigan's laboratories are and stuff, but we didn't find anything there. Then we went to the teacher's lounge. We didn't find anybody there. We went to the dining hall, and we saw two twin sister maids and a student. We had looked like an intimate encounter with the maids, and then now we are one of them. They were actually having a little conversation with each other, and they suggested that they had seen Magistra Moonhair in the attic. And so we were kind of poised to go to the attic. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to go to the attic. And I see self-destruct immediately says, at the end of last time, there was the question of what Trevia bond is. Trevia bond is the Aventurian name for a marriage. Oh, with Trevia being the goddess of home and hearth. Oh, interesting. Okay. That I did not pick that up. So great. Thank you. And there are some who prefer the less binding Raja bond, and warriors sometimes use a Randra bond. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, we got an education from the maids. Exactly. The maids were described as followers of Raja, who's the goddess of love and fond of lewd stuff. Well, we definitely experienced that. So now we are going to go to section 100. Oh, I also wanted to mention something. I realized when we were playing last time, well, actually, I mean, I realized it just recently, but when we were playing before, I had taken our life points of 29, and I was actually accidentally using that number as our starting arcane energy points, and so our starting point should have been 35, and as a result, I had I thought that we were at 14, but we're really at 23. So I've just changed that. I realized that I selected the wrong number. So, sorry, our max should be 38, not 35. 38 is our max. So we're really at 23. All right. So let's get back over here and go to the attic. Where's the attic? 75. And so if you're, if you've not seen us before, this PDF is really cool because it's got a bunch of things to sort of help you when you're playing the game. So all of these little circle checkboxes are, if you've gone there before, you can check, or if you're going there, you check it so that you know you've been there once. And then when you go there, there's sometimes multiple options of what you can do based off of if you've been there or not. So that's what these are for, and to just help you track where you've been. In addition, as you can see, you can just click on the little number and it automatically takes you to the section, which is convenient. And there's another thing in here. If you look here, we have a time tracker, which this is a different PDF version because I have two different PDFs up, one for the character sheet. And so, but you can see when you have to click on time trackers, it automatically shows you here. So it kind of keeps track of how long we've been here. And I guess we can just look at the actual one right now. So we're at 101 and our time tracker currently is here. So we've gone through quite a bit of time. So if all of the circles are crossed off and we need to cross off another circle, we'll go to section 111. So time is a bit of the essence, and our little interlude with the maids has taken us quite a bit of time. So we're at section 100 here. Let me try to scroll back up here. And then we need to go to 75. So we just click on this and it automatically adds one to that time tracker. So we climb to the ladder of the observatory, a small chamber on the top floor of the school. A comfy arrangement of cushions adorns the floor beneath a large glass skylight. Normally it would afford an excellent view, but the sky today is a dull uniform gray. You pry open a small hatch and crawl into the dusty, stifling, low-ceiling attic. The only illumination comes from a small, shuttered opening of the roof. You search the whole attic, but only find a couple of blankets, a badly hidden bag of intoxicants, and two crude drawings of dwarfs in the act of love. Nothing indicates here that a kidnapping took place, but it's merely a testament to the busy behavior of some of your classmates. You return to the observatory, brushing away the cobwebs and dust clinging to your robes. Oh, that's a bummer. Nothing really happened there. So, what do we do? I mean, we've searched all over the place. We haven't gotten to see a couple of these other magisters, although I believe Immefeld and Tienen, they kind of seem like they weren't really going to help, which is why we never went. So we can go to the courtyard or return to our room. Freestyle is saying to go check out the courtyard. All right, let's do that. 51. The upper levels of the dormitory open onto the inner courtyard through rows of columns. Even though little direct sunlight reaches the ground because of the tall buildings, magic ensures that colorful, fragrant flowers bloom here year-round. Students usually spend their free time here, either walking the paths and admiring the flowers, or else standing or sitting around in small groups, chatting, gossiping, or reading. Today, however, you see only the servants going about their business. As you recall, most faculty and students are off campus celebrating the end of the term. You take a few moments to smell the fresh air, gaze at the beautiful ivy-entwined gazebo, and enjoy a moment of calm. But alas, you do not find Magister Moonhair or Archmage Arelon here. Go back to 100. All right, so it looks like I really, I guess we could go to the dining hall and try to talk to the boy again, or we could go back to the room, or we could go seek one of the other magisters. What do you think we should do? Back to the room, Freestyle? I feel like going back to the room, we're just going to waste time. But maybe there's something we missed. Maybe there was a note or something. So sure, let's go check that out. 86. Here's time plus 1. You return to your room for a needed rest, half expecting to find Archmage Arelon waiting for you. But your hope fades as you open the door and find the room standing empty, just as you left it. Exhausted, you flop onto the bed. Solving the riddle of Magister Arelon's disappearance is taxing, and you need a few seconds to gather your thoughts. The search is not proceeding as well as you expected. Groggily, you look around and take a mental inventory of the room's contents. Wobbly stool, table, water jug, wardrobe, 2 bottles of translucent blue liquid, notebook. Wait, you do not own any bottles of translucent blue liquid. Upon closer examination, you determine they are magical potions. When imbibed, each one restores 1d6 arcane energy up to your maximum amount. Wow, we really need that. What are they doing here? Potions like these are rare even at a school like the Academy of Transformation, and most students could not afford one such bottle. School rules forbid students from entering each other's dorm rooms uninvited, but potions are not illegal, so what reason could someone have for placing them here? You doubt someone owes you a favor. Regardless, you are grateful for the unexpected gift. With renewed courage, you store the bottles in your pocket. Maybe destiny does favor you. Who can tell for sure? Record the bottles in your inventory and go to section 100. Cool. So we got a potion of healing before, and so we now have 2 potions of arcane energy, and they do what did it say? 1d6 plus 8. 1d6 plus 8 AE. And we are currently at 23. All right, so interesting. Good call, Freestyle, to go get those potions. Awesome. All right. Well, here we are. We can go see the Magister or the Magistra or go to the dining hall. What do you think we should do? Dining hall? All right, let's go see. So now we're going to go to 190. The dining hall is empty. If you wait around for the maids, the young student, or even Magister Erlon to appear, go to section 166. If you decide to look elsewhere, go to 100. Well, it looks like the student is no longer there. So should we wait to see if someone shows up or go back? Is there background music being played? I don't see the music thing. It shows that it's playing. No music. Weird. Let's see. Can you hear the music now? Can you hear me now? That's weird. I'm not seeing the music. Oh, there we go. It was just on real low. All right. Not much else to do here. Let's see what's behind 166. All right. So we kind of wait for a little while. If that music's too loud, let me know and I can turn it down. So here we go. We wait. The dining hall is unoccupied except for a lone mouse. Curiously, the staff seem to have overlooked a small bowl of leftovers from breakfast. It contains 3 slices of sausage. If you wish, you may add this treasure to your inventory. You wait around for someone to come by, but nobody does. Tired of waiting, you decide to try. Hold on. Now I can hear it. 1 second. There we go. You wait around for someone to come by, but nobody does. Tiring of waiting, you decide to try another plan to find Magister Erlon. Return to section 100. So we have sausage, and I know before, if we had sausage, we could have given it to the cat. But we already talked to the cat, and so I don't know if we need to go do that again. So, the only thing left to do is talk to the Magistra, or the Magister. Which do you think we should go see, Immenfeld or Tienen? Turn it up a little bit. All right, there we go. So, Tienen. All right, let's see. Here you go to Tienen. And there's a +1 time unit. Magister Stored Tienen is a living legend, respected the world over for his brilliant insights into magical theory. Sadly, his mind suffers from the ravages of time and old age, and he often gets lost on his way to class. This does not bother him in the least. However, for he just as often forgets where he is going. This malady affects every aspect of his life except his knowledge of magic, which remains as solid and dependable as ever. As Magister Horrigan would say, if you want to find Magister Tienen, look where you do not expect to find him. Thus, you skip his room and the library, and you also ignore the laboratories and the scriptoriums. Instead, you start with the gazebo in the courtyard, and lo, you find him. The ancient man sits alone on the ground, clad in white robes. As you draw nearer, you notice that he is lecturing to some doves about the topic of arcane energy. The flux maximus permeates us all, he says. It is a fine web unfolding like a network of arteries and veins. However, instead of the red stuff of life, power flows through that pulsing web. This power is intrinsic to every creature on Dare, but controllable only by those with the magical gift. You are fortunate, not simply because you are part of the reticulum arcanum, but because you can control it. The Magister pauses to let his words sink in, but the doves show no visible reaction. Eventually, one twitches its head, and then all the birds start running to and fro, cooing excitedly. Magister Tienen tries to regain their attention, but the birds refuse to listen, and he sits down on his bench in defeat. Magister Tienen, am I interrupting anything, you ask softly, trying not to startle him. The mage turns toward the sound of your voice, his cloudy eyes straining to see you, and then his face lights up. I know you, he beams. Dinner time. Already, Ludwina? If you admit that you are not Ludwina, go to section 121. If you try to impersonate Ludwina, a rosy-cheeked maid with a limp, go to section 35. What should we do? Should we admit that we're not Ludwina, or go to, or try to impersonate her? I think we just admit it, huh? What do you think? (121) it is. Magister Tienen, I am not Luina. My name is, you say, but the Magister interrupts you. Ludwina, I knew it, he declares with a grin. People say my eyes are weak and my mind is slipping, but that is not true. I recognized you. You don't have the heart to argue with him. You are a student of the prestigious Lowangen Academy of Transformation. If it makes the old professor happy, you can pretend to be Ludwina for a little while. Go to section 35. Yes, Magister Tienen, it is Ludwina, you say, speaking up so he can hear you. No matter what other people say, I know the truth. Your eyes miss nothing, and your mind is as sharp as ever. The mage smiles sheepishly, saying, You are always nice to me, even though I burden you with demands, and rarely thank you for your kindness. You have seen him get emotional, and you silently hope that this is not one of those times. But then you see the tear rolling down his cheek. What do you say? I'm happy to help. There is no shame in growing old and feeble. Eek. Don't mention it. Your smile is thanks enough. Or you could act a bit more grateful, Magister Tienen. I mean, we're just trying to get some information. Yeah, I think don't mention it as well. So 160. As always, you are too lenient with an old man, he says, wiping away tears with the back of his hand. It must be time to eat. Would you like to sit with me in the dining hall? You shake your head, saying that you have other duties to perform, and anyway, you are not hungry. The old Magister nods, but you see a hint of disappointment in his eyes. You try a different approach, saying, Magister Tienen, I have an important question. I must find Magister Moonhair. Have you seen her? Mela, the Magister says distantly. I often see Mela, yes. He then nods to himself and falls silent. You gaze at him expectantly, but soon realize he has answered your question. Patience running thin, you ask a more precisely worded question. When and where did you last see Magister Moonhair? You ask. Make a willpower check with a +3 bonus. If you can keep up your sweet voice. All right, so let's go check our willpower. Willpower. Here's the character sheet. All right. Willpower, social skill, courage, intuition, and charisma. We've got 3 points in it. What did I just say? Courage, intuition, and charisma. So 13, 14, and 12. All right, let's see what we get here. Reset my dice box. 13, 14, and 12. I got 19, 9, and 14. So we failed by 6 on the first one, and we only had 3 skill points. So that is not going to do it for us. Let's go back. If fails, go to section 16. Magister Tianen's eyes you suspiciously, saying, "Do not use that tone with me, mobshaft. I know what you are doing. This is one of your cruel tricks. I should turn you into the pig you've always have been." Then he starts mumbling quietly. You cannot tell whether he is casting a spell or simply muttering. What dice check was that? That was a willpower check. That was a skill check. So there's 3 dice. You cannot tell whether he is casting a spell or simply muttering. Most students at the school think of him only as a magical theoretician. Nobody has ever seen him cast a spell, which may indicate that he never learned any. Now, however, you are not quite sure, and you see no reason to wait around to find out. Go to section 100. So freestyle, as Self-Destruct immediately says, it was a 3d20 check. And the way you roll skills in this is, let's see, if we go to our skill, here is the willpower. Didn't highlight it very well. Let's see if I can do it this way. Nope. So here's our willpower. And as you can see here, the number on the right here is 3, which is our skill rating. So that's our skill rating. And then when you roll against skills, you roll against actually 3 attributes, which is interesting. So there's courage, intuition, and charisma. So we come up and look here at the top, and our courage is 13. Our charisma is 12. Our intuition is 14, and then our charisma is 12. So I kind of wrote those down just so I have them here. So 13, 14, and 12. So we need to make all 3 of those. We need to succeed in order to succeed. So if we roll and we get within our skill rating check in total without going over, then we can use our skill rating to knock them down. Unfortunately, I rolled a 19 for the first roll where I needed a 13. So that was 6 over. And so my skill rating of 3 cannot bring that down. If I had rolled within 1 to 3, then I would have passed the first test. However, the second test was 9 out of 14, so I succeeded there. And then the second one, or the third one, was 14, and I needed a 12. So I would have failed there as well. So we failed that check. So that's why we did what we did there. All right, so we're back here again. Master Sinian did not have much to say, but he seems to forget. So maybe we can go ask him again later. Or we can go look for Emmenfeld. So you think we should try to go around to Tienen again or go with Emmenfeld? And Self-Destruct, you say the system is clunky, and I don't really think it's clunky. I think it's just very different, and it's not simple. It's definitely more complex. But then you think about, it's more complex than your sort of simple resolution systems. But it gives you a little bit of room to kind of describe things. To talk about another game, Star Wars or the Genesis system, there's a lot of dice in there, and all of those dice allow you to narrate in an interesting way. It gives you a very kind of detailed look of what that, whatever skill check you're looking at is doing. And same thing here. So you have 3 dice. It's a simple resolution mechanic, but then you also know, so like if I failed, for example, on that roll, if I failed the courage check, which I did, that kind of tells me that like maybe I was not very forceful in my, since it was a willpower roll, I was trying to exert my force on them. And so my courage failed me. That's what I failed at. And so that kind of tells me that, maybe I was, he's a teacher, he's a well-respected teacher. And so maybe I just didn't really want to push my tone with him. And so that's where I failed. And in this single player adventure, that doesn't really come across really well, but if you're playing with a group, the game master could narrate that in that way. Whereas if I had failed my intuition or my charisma, that would have another meaning for failure. And so I think it's just gives you more nuance to the game, which I think is cool. All right, how many time marks do we have left? Good question here. Time tracker. We've only got 5 left, so we don't have a lot of time. We're kind of pushing it right now. What should we do? I mean, Magister Immenfeld is the only one we haven't done so far. So Freestyle asks, is there an order to the dice or different types of colors? So yeah, that's one way you can do it. There's 2 different ways that I've seen that you can do it. You could have, you could have a different colored dice for each attribute. And there is, if you go to I think the Ulysses website has it, you can get a dice cup, a leather dice cup, and that comes with the 8 different colors of dice. So that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it, and the way I usually do it, is that when I roll. So for example, if we go back to that willpower result, I'm rolling courage, intuition, and charisma. So that's like the order that I roll, and I have 3 dice here. And what I do is I roll, and literally the way they come out from left to right on my table is what I take. So I'm going to roll these here. Whichever dice is furthest to the left is my courage. The one that's kind of in the middle is my intuition. And then the one that's on my right is charisma. So it still gives me a specific dice for a specific attribute. I feel like that's faster to do than to kind of say like, okay, I need my red dice, I need my green dice, and I need my black dice to roll this. And then you have to, so it's, I mean, either way, if you're good with the dice and you have all of them. I actually don't have all of the dice. I only have only have 6 dice right here, and they don't match up exactly. So I'm just doing the kind of left to right style. So let's see. So we still have not decided what we're going to do. I mean, I say we go see Magister Immenfeld since we have not seen her yet. We still have 5 time units. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. There's another unit. So I'm just going to put that we have 4 left right here just so we can keep track a little closer. All right, so as you head toward Magistra Olya Immenfeld's room, you recall a humorous incident involving another student. One day, while Magister Horrigan was conducting a review of magical theory, a girl named Rond asked when the class could try something a bit more exciting, like summoning a demon. Without hesitation, the professor said, "Rond, demons are a source of endless suffering. If pain is what you crave, I suggest you take one of Magister Immenfeld's classes." Magister Horrigan's droll answer still makes you smile. The school's teachers rarely criticize each other in front of students, but those 2 professors are well known for their mutual dislike. Similarly, Magister Immenfeld is still angry that Magister Moonhair was promoted to deputy headmistress ahead of her. Magister Immenfeld's well-documented ambition makes her unpopular with students and faculty alike, and just about everyone has reasons to dislike her. Now that you are about it, maybe Magister Immenfeld isn't the best person to ask for help. Lost in thought, you turn into the corridor that leads to Magister Immenfeld's room, and promptly run into the gaunt woman, knocking her off balance. Her candle falls from its holder, and a large tome slips from beneath her arm and hits the floor with a thud. You quietly mumble an apology. Her brown eyes spark angrily at you from beneath her pageboy haircut. Even though she is shorter than you, she suddenly seems as large as an ogre. "Is that what passes for an apology these days?" she barks at you in a voice that could shatter glass. You silently pray that she doesn't turn you into an insect or step on you as she retrieves her book and candle. You make a second attempt to apologize, this time with more conviction in your voice. She eyes you critically for what seems like forever, then gives a dismissive wave. "Aren't you supposed to be taking your final exam?" she asks, her face resuming its normally stern expression. How do you respond? "The exam is concluded. The exam was postponed, or the exam was meant to take place now, but Archmage Erelon never showed up." or the exam was supposed to take place now, but Archmage Erlon didn't show up because Magister Moonhair abducted him. So what should we say? I'm really liking that last one because it just told us that she did not like Moonhair. So maybe this is an opportunity to use some of that. Just never showed. All right, maybe, yeah. I mean, it could be that if we try to invoke Moonhair, she will still defend her because she's still, she's still a professor. So, all right, or the adoption works too. So let's just go with your first gut freestyle. Archmage Erlon never showed. Never showed up. The magistrate asked slowly, as if verbally tightening thumb screws. What do you mean? You stand transfixed by her gaze as you struggle to think of a satisfactory answer. What do you say? I think the exam was postponed, maybe 118, or, well, I'm convinced that Magister Moonhair is involved somehow. Well, there you go. I guess we can have the best of both worlds there. So let's say Magister Moonhair is involved somehow. 125. Magister Immenfield's usually stern expression briefly changes to one of curiosity. She leads you back to her room and asks you to take a seat in an unexpectedly comfortable chair, which she no doubt had to import from someplace far away, like Vinsalt. While she secures an uncomfortable wooden chair for herself, you take the opportunity to quickly glance around the room. All the Magister's possessions, shelves, table, cupboard, bed, curtains, and even writing supplies speak of wealth and luxury, but none of them are warm and inviting. Her golden quill is bent, her expensive curtains are ugly, and the carvings on her square table, though exquisite, are rather boring. Magister Immenfeld's furniture shows sophistication and taste, but you sense it gives her no enjoyment. You soon realize that your chair is far from comfortable. At least the Magister's chair forces her to sit upright. Your chair's soft, fluffy cushions offer no support at all, and you struggle to avoid falling over. From your nearly horizontal position, you feel very small next to the Magistra. She reminds you of a bird of prey sitting on a high perch, ready to swoop down at any moment. So, the Magistra begins, you think Magister Moonhair had something to do with your predicament? If you nod your head, signify yes, go to section 120 or 213. If you shake your head no, go to 79. Decisions. I don't know. What do you think? Yes? Freestyle says yes. I mean, I'm leaning towards yes. She doesn't like her already, so let's do it. 213. These are serious accusations, Magistrate Minfield says, her voice uncharacteristically softening. She sits silently for a long moment with hands folded, cradling her chin with her thumbs, her index finger covering her nose, as she stares at one of the paintings on the wall. You find the paintings greatly disturbing. The scene is one of darkness, pressing in from all sides, drowning the sickly yellow glow from a small candle that reveals a mage with crazed eyes performing a summoning. A crown of bones, a bizarre amulet, and several long bloody talons sit on the table before him. What inspired the Magistrate to buy such a thing? This makes sense, Magistrate Immenfeld whispers to herself. It fits. Turning to you, she says, I believe you. This secret stays between us, for without proof we can do little. Be careful. Magister Moonhair is a powerful woman, and few students can stand in her way. You even agree, though you cannot say whether you intend to follow her advice. Magistrate Minfeld is probably right, but you sense that things are not entirely as they seem. Does the Magistrate want to prevent you from solving the riddle of the Archmage's disappearance? Return to your room, she continues. I will ask around. Visit me later. With luck, I will have learned something useful. You nod and wait for her to say more, but then you realize that the conversation is over. It's time for you to go. You extract yourself from the upholstery with some difficulty and leave Magister Immenfeld's room. Go to 100. All right, so we've done a whole lot of this. The only thing else that we can do at this point is to seek Magister Tienen again, or that we can go to see Immenfeld again. I say we see what Tienen has to offer again, since he probably forgot. Though we visited him once already. So let's go try that out. So we're going to click on 2, go to A4. Even though your previous encounter with Magister Tianen was unproductive, you again seek his help. Where do you look this time? If you seek him in his room, go to 146, library, dining hall. If you look where we found him last time, or if you change our mind and we can return to 100 and erase the mark. Or do you have to do them in order? Yeah. I think you're supposed to do them in order. So where should we go look for him? What do you think? His room, the dining hall, the library. He just ate, so I don't think he'd be in there. I mean, it's kind of random at this point. The courtyard. All right, so let's go where we found him last time. In the gazebo. 207. There's another time unit. So as soon as you enter the courtyard, a realization hits you that makes you smile. Magister Horrigan, popular with all of his students for his caring nature, has always earned great respect for his wisdom and advice. While with other teachers, especially in the first few years of school, you'd like to ask what they're trying to convey, Magister Horrigan's wisdom always seems unassailable. And at that moment you realize that not wisdom, or as some say, the gift of clairvoyance, is the source of his advice, but shrewdness. Magister Horrigan's advice to seek out Magister Tianen where you cannot expect him can never be wrong. Once you have heard this advice, you always think about where the confused mage might be. Thanks to Magister Horrigan's advice, however, you immediately reject this thesis and search in the most impossible places. If you do not find him there, you always explain this with the fact that you expected him there. And if you do find him there, it's because you did not expect him there in the first place. The old mage is still sitting under the gazebo in the courtyard and attentively watching the playful flight of a butterfly. For any resident of the academy, one would have taken it for granted to search for them again, where you had last seen them. But thanks to Magister Horrigan's wisdom, you cannot do this with Magister Tianen. Now that the mage is still sitting there, this seems to you to be the most unlikely case, and it would have been more likely if the scattered-brained mage had just disappeared. As you approach the gazebo, you recall something you heard the Archmage say here in the courtyard when you first arrived at school. Young students admire their professors and accept their teachings, but old students tend to question and doubt. You will prove you are ready for your final exams when you can look past your professor's demeanor and acknowledge and honor their lifetime of accomplishments. You certainly admire Magister Horrigan, a popular, caring, and respected professor, but Magister Tianen is difficult to fathom. The often confused Magister shows no reaction when you sit down next to him. He stares at the butterfly, a boyish grin on his face. If you clear your throat and try to draw the Magister's attention, go to 222. If you comment on the butterfly's beauty, go to 179. I think we should comment on its beauty. What do you think? Agreed. All right, there we go, 179. This is a beautiful butterfly, Magister Tianen, you say, but the mage interrupts you with a harsh gesture. He looks angrily from the butterfly to you and back and snarls. Why are you interrupting me? Can you not see that I am busy? The young always think they know what is best. That's your problem, Dredvik. You never learned respect. If you try to calm the Magister with gentle words, go to 112. If you dare to calm him using the spell Benabaldin, even though such would be difficult, go to 77. This is quite a decision we have. Do we just try to talk to him? Or do we use the magic? I kind of feel like we should try to use magic on him. But I don't know. What do you think? It hasn't been something we've done before. It's risky, yeah. I feel like it is risky, but... yeah, are you saying to go for magic, or are you just saying it's risky to do the magic? I kind of feel like, you know, this person has been dismissive. When he thought we were someone else, you know, he said that we could rightly be upset with him. So let's go see what Banbaladin does. We can go over here to our spells. And here we go, Banbaladin. The target's feelings toward the spellcaster change to ones of deep friendship or even love, inspiring the target to aid the spellcaster in any way. It's basically a charm spell. That seems real risky. Are we not a mage? Let's try the elven spell of friendship. Yeah. Alright, it's courage, intuition, and charisma. It costs 8 for successful, or 4 if we fail. Alright, let's do it. So courage, intuition, and charisma. Oh, I thought I had it. Courage, intuition, charisma. So it's going to be 13, 14, and 12 again. And we have 4 skill points. All right, so let's see. Here comes our roll. 12, that succeeds. 19 does not, and 19 does not. We needed at least an 18 or less on, but well before both those dice. So anyways, no, it does not. We fail. So that's going to be, what does it say? 4 points. So we're at 19 now. All right. What did it say? We went to 77. So you tried to ignore the Magister's rage and focus on casting Banbaladin, quietly murmuring the incantation. Make a Banbaladin check. Oh, with a -2 penalty. That's even worse. So we definitely failed. We don't have less than 8, but we do fail. So 211. The spell fails. Subtract 4 from your total. For the moment you expect the worst, but Magister Tianan apparently failed to notice your attempted casting. Nevertheless, his anger grows by leaps and bounds, and he raves on about with such animation that you must suppress a laugh to avoid escalating the situation. With a calming gesture, you retreat to section 100. All right, we're back here again. We can go see Immenfeld again, or go to Magister Tianan. I just want to double check our time tracker. Yeah, we've got 2 left. Work the old man. All right, let's try him again. Let's see, 133. Committed to the pot, yeah. So nothing involving Magister Tianan is ever boring. Despite Magister Horrigan's advice, you look for the old mage at the gazebo, but he is not there. Looking further will cost you time. If you continue searching for him, go to 162. If you give up looking for him, go to 100. I think you said it, pot committed. Let's keep going, 162. So it's one of our time things. We've only got 1 left. All right, you think about where you expect to find Magister Tianan and briefly consider whether to search only that location, but you decide to look everywhere. You try the dining hall, the library, the courtyard, his room, anywhere he might be, but you find no trace of him. Magister Tianan is also missing. If you continue to search, go to 72. If you give up, go to 100. Wow. We've only got 1 more time unit left. What should we do? Keep searching? Are we really pot committed? Or we can probably go talk to the Magistra one last time. See if she'll yell at us. All right, we're going back to 100 to see Immenfeld. All right, here we go. All right, this is our last time unit. Roll 1 die. If the result is even, go to 26. If the result is odd, go to 119. Wow, we got a completely random result here. Well, I rolled an 11, so we're going to go to 119. You go to Magister Immenfeld's room, but her door is locked and she does not seem to be present. You wait for a moment and are just about to leave when the gaunt woman comes hurrying around the corner. She waves at you with all the joy and excitement of a 6-year-old sharing her discovery of a dragon's egg with her best friend, something you never expected to see in her. I'm not sure what running out of time means. It said you're supposed to go to a section if you run out of time. The magistrate looks in all directions as if checking for her spies, and then whispers conspiratorially. I think you were right. I learned Bretum and Moonhair recently spent an unusual amount of time in the cellar. My sources saw the two disappear behind the crate at the intersection several times. You nod slowly, secretly doubting the mage has any sources. Who willingly speaks with her? Of course, willingly may have nothing to do with it. She is scary even when exhibiting childish glee, and people might answer her questions out of pure fear. A shiver runs down your spine, and you thank her for the information. She concludes by saying, I cannot help you further, but I think that is for the best. Her features then resume their customary gruffness, and she quickly ducks inside her room, all pretense of sociability gone. However, as the door slams shut behind her, you think you hear her utter a quiet, good luck. Let's go look. So we did finish the time tracker. Let's see what it says again. So we filled them all. So it says if all the circles are crossed off and you need to cross off another circle, go to 111. So if we come up to a point where we need to cross off another circle, then we will have to go to 111. So we're not there now at the moment. So we're at 100. So we need to go to the cellar again, right? So let's try that again. Oh, so now we're here. So we can't do this. We need to go to 111. You decide to stop by the dining hall to see if anything remained for dinner. Though in a hurry, you take your usual shortcut across the garden. Prios's disc hangs low in the sky, casting long shadows in the courtyard. Deep in thought, you fail to notice somebody approaching until they tap you on the shoulder. You turn around and catch only a glimpse of someone wearing a gray cloak and hood. A hand darts forward and touches your forehead, and you hear words spoken softly. Then your consciousness drifts away. You awake in your own bed shortly after sunrise. The previous day is a blur. You recall leaving your room to take your final exam, and you know you failed, but you cannot remember how. Puzzled but undeterred, you return to your studies and await the next chance to take the exam, more determined than ever before to prove that you are a great mage. The end. So, you just asked freestyle if running out of time is an adventure fail. Apparently it is. Wondering if the digital click displays a flag when you're out of time. I don't think it does, because we'd gotten there. Let's go look. I can go back and look to see. Nope. Oh yeah, it did. So we had run out of time, so we'd gone there, and that was the end. So yeah, we would have clicked there and it would have told us to go to 111. So unfortunately we failed. Wow, we failed the last one too. We failed Vampire of Havana during a fight. I rolled. It was an amazing set of rolling failures, and so we failed that one. We failed the Conspiracy of Mages. But if you want to play the Conspiracy of Mages and see if you can have better luck rolling than I did, you can go check it out. You can get it from DriveThruRPG, and it's free right now. If you are looking for other stuff to do, you can go check out Ulysses.com. There is an article called Stay Home and Play, and there's a bunch of the Dark Eye stuff where we talk about where you can get an extension for Fantasy Grounds if you want to try to play Dark Eye on Fantasy Grounds. There is a Dark Eye mobile game. It's a few years old, but it still looks pretty cool. There is the free Aventuria mod for Tabletop Simulator, which I think it might have expired now, but yeah. Anyways, Tabletop Simulator is like $19 or $9.99. You can find it on sale in a bunch of places. So you can go check that out, and you can play the base Aventuria game for free there. So thank you all for coming and playing. I had a great time. Let's see. Freestyle asks, how much of the content do you feel like we touched on? Well, I mean, we did all of the things, in that section 100, but several times we did not make our rolls. And so I think that costs us advancement. And since it's a kind of choose your own adventure game, it's not a role-playing game. There's going to be hard limits like that. So I feel like we were close. I feel like if we would have gone to the next section there, we probably would have stopped today, and I think that there probably would have been, you know, one more session of play. We skipped an option? Where is that? I didn't see. I don't think we skipped an option. I mean, we did all the things here at the end of 100. If you cross all the last circle time, go to 111, right? That's where we just were. That's the end. Unless there was something else. Was there something else after that? Oh, when you think you know where to find Magister Erlon, go to 145. Oh, that is a bad page break, unfortunately. Let's go look at that. That's funny. Write down the name of the location you want to explore more thoroughly. Convert each letter of the name, ignoring articles, into a number using the chart below. Then add 1 or subtract if the number is negative. Those numbers, if your deduction is correct, the sum indicates the section in which your search continues. Oh, so we could have write down the name of the location you wish to explore more thoroughly. Convert each letter in the name. Well, I feel like you know, somewhere in the cellar, that kind of thing. I think we're still gonna call it, and I think this is just a good reason for you guys to go pick it up and play on your own. Then you can see what happens. But yeah, that's a little bit frustrating that I did not see that at all. Yeah, it's a good cliffhanger, but there's other things that I need to that I want to do, that I want to stream. I think I'm going to stream some Dark Eye character creation next time. I'm going to stream. I want to do some Torg character creation. And I'm also going to stream some Fading Suns character creation. So if you've been paying attention to any of that, you'll definitely want to keep watching. If you're interested in Fading Suns, it's a science fiction game that we are kickstarting right now. So go check that out. You know, just search Fading Suns in Kickstarter and you will find it, or it's been all over our social media streams. So thank you guys for coming. Thanks for chatting. This has been the most productive kind of chat that we've had. So thanks for that, and we will see you. What's today? Wednesday. We'll see you on Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time again, probably for a Dark Eye. Or no, maybe since we're done, maybe I will do a Fading Suns one right away. I don't know. We'll see. All right, but thank you, and we'll see you Friday.